Hi everyone. Today's video is definitely a little bit different. So you guys probably know by now the whole scandal at NZXT. Basically, Gamers Nexus exposed NZXT's it's like a flex program. I think it's like a basically computer leasing program where they do bait and switch and they raise prices on you. Basically just a lot of stuff they were doing, and they would send you like older parts when you were on their site trying to subscribe to a plan. It would say you would get a certain newer part, but then they would send you an older computer with older parts. So there were a lot of, there's just a lot of I would recommend just you watch the Gamers Nexus video by Steve. And so this video came out like yesterday. I think it's like not even 24 hours old. And I didn't get a chance to watch it yesterday, but this video is by Jay's 2 cents. And NZXT used to be Jay's sponsor, like one of Jay's sponsors. And I think Jay had a response video for the Gamers Nexus video, where he was like denouncing obviously what NZXT has done with these like practices, and basically ripping off customers, and they're like very predatory practices. And Jay was like, yeah, we gotta, like, I think I'm gonna have to like stop, basically stop having NZXT as a sponsor. And he was like scrubbing NZXT ads from his old videos and everything, which is commendable, I think. However, it seems like, so in that video, Jay says that he emailed the CEO of NZXT and he didn't get any responses. And apparently the CEO did reply, and it went to his spam. So like, Jay made that clear that he did respond, and that's why they had this meeting recently. So I'm watching this meeting, and I realized something though. I think there's some deception here, because so I'm kind of like into like those videos about like people lying, like I think those body language videos. And not that I really trust body language, because I think body language can be kind of, it's difficult to predict if someone's lying or deceiving you by just purely their body language. But I feel like you can get a lot from what they say, right? From their wording or word usage, right? And from their wording of their sentences and how they express themselves with words, you can kind of guesstimate that they're lying, or they're at least trying to hide something, or they're uncomfortable with revealing the real truth, but they're kind of like hiding behind this the verbiage that they're using. Okay, so I paused it at the 15 minute mark, and I want you to hear. Let me raise the volume so you guys can hear this. I really think that he's being deceptive here, and I'll tell you why. Let me just play it and just watch his body language, and also what his phrasing of his explanation, just where his word usage. And another thing is that, I'll give you some context. So this is when Jay confronts him. He's like, well, Steve at Gamers Nexus said that you arbitrarily just rose the price by $10. I guess it's that leasing price, the monthly subscription price to lease that PC. And he confronts the CEO about it, and this is the CEO's response, basically saying that, oh, that is just some kind of tax issue, like a state tax issue, and that they claim that the leasing company, I think the leasing company is called Fragile. Like, so apparently NZXT partners with a company that does all the underwriting, and does the actual leasing part of it, business part, and NZXT doesn't handle that, I guess, supposedly. But apparently that Fragile company, I think it's called Fragile, they they are running into issues where something about state taxes not being charged properly, so they had to contact. Apparently, they or NZXT contacted customers beforehand to inform them that their rates are going up. Okay, but of course, Steve claims that he never received any notice. Okay, about this $10 increase. So just watch what the CEO says in defense of this tax raise, it's a supposed tax raise, and also watch his body language and what he says. Okay, I don't want to pause it when I hear him say the words that I definitely think is definitely a sign of deception. So let me play it. Okay, let me play the TV.
We need to start charging you state taxes, in your next billing cycle. Do you have questions? Let us know, and And at that point in time, like, obviously you can cancel, like, with no charge and everything. But like, we did inform people there was like increase due to sales taxes, and that was like the only time. Now you would change if you upgrade. Like, you say, hey, I want the player 3. Obviously, like, your subscription.
Right. The only scenario I can speak to, because again, I don't have first-hand experience with the program, was seeing the billing cycle for Gamers Nexus go up by $10. There was no mention in his video about receiving notification of a price increase. So, are we to assume that either he didn't get it or he missed it?
No, I mean, I think he definitely got it. It was like a exchange, like acknowledging that they got the.
Have you verified that email was sent?
Yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, to my knowledge, yes. And we looked at the email.
Okay. Because I can.
And it's not just it's not just him, right? Like, we send it to everyone. Everyone this past year, a lot of states went through this whole process where we got past that point.
The reason why I'm bringing this up is I rewatched.
So did you get that? Did you hear that? So like, he didn't say the words I'm talking about yet, but look at his body language. He's obviously flustered by the question, and he's like moving. His body is definitely moving a lot. Like, he's kind of like squirming, like he's literally squirming in the chair. Like, his shoulders are kind of like moving up and down. His hands are. He's more animated, and his head's like bobbing back and forth. So I feel like there's definitely this question made him very uncomfortable, and I'm guessing that either he doesn't really know the answer, meaning that he doesn't know if they really sent it out or not, and he's kind of like lying about it, because he's either saying, well, what do I do now? I don't really know the answer, the truth, so I'm just gonna say that yes. He's like, yes, we did send it out, right? He's confirming that email was sent out to apparently that email was sent out to inform people that the price was going up due to some state tax thing, okay? And here's another thing is interesting, is that he doesn't tell you what does this mean, because like, you would think that every state in the U.S. has different taxes, right? And like, does this mean like all the states increase taxes? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't really get into detail. It's just probably on purpose that he doesn't get into detail, like what states were affected, anything like that, right? So it's very vague, okay? So yeah, so if you notice that his body language was really uncomfortable. So either he doesn't know the situation, and he doesn't really, but he's still like he knows that he shouldn't be saying yes. He shouldn't be confirming that they did send it out, because he might not even know if they did or not. So in that way, he is lying, right? But I'm not sure if that's why, or he blatantly knows, like he's squirming because he knows that he has to lie here, or he's uncomfortable lying here at least, and he knows that he's lying. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure. It could be that he doesn't know, and then he's just kind of saying yes, yeah. I'm pretty sure it got sent out, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't say pretty sure. He just said yes. Even though he was kind of squirming, like he wasn't sure how to answer that question, which is like, It's a pretty much easy question to answer. You just, if you know they did or not, you should just answer it. So like, for example, if Jay's like, oh, did you guys send it out? He should have been like, if he didn't know, he should be like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta get back to you on that. But he didn't do that. He squirmed a bit, and then he's like, oh, he's like, yeah, we did send it out, right? But it just seemed very like, very not confident the way he expressed himself. So this is the part. So just pay attention to this part. Okay? This is the next part where Jay asked him like kind of to confirm like, actually Jay asked him, did you give people like time in advance to like to warn them in advance that the price was going up? And so the CEO says basically yes, and then he talks about how like I think he says he claims a month in advance. Okay, so just watch this. And he's saying something really interesting. He's gonna make sure you pay attention to what he says right around that time.
Again today, so I have some clarification on making sure I'm wording some of this right.
Yeah.
The $10 increase did not come with an explanation.
Oh, absolutely did.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And not for everyone. For everyone. Not just him. Like that's
How much notice was given on the price increase for the states that are required to start charging tax on subscription?
Yeah, I want to say it was at least 1 month in advance.
Okay.
But basically enough time for you to say, you know what, I don't like this, the $10 increase, you may cancel.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and move on.
So did you get that? So the last 15 seconds, he says, I want to say it was at least a month. So when someone says that, there's deception all the time, but pretty much all the time, or at least there's uncertainty about the truth in his mind. So he's really uncertain about that answer. That's why he says, I want to say at least a month. So when you say I want to say at least a month, you're basically saying, well, don't kill me if I'm not accurate on this. Please forgive me, but I want to say. And then he says at least a month, which means that he's basically backing off on the whole month thing. He's saying at least a month. So he's actually adding more qualifiers to it, kind of like making him be like, well, I'm not going to give you an exact time frame. I'm going to say at least a month, which could be like basically 2 months, right? It could be, he could be claiming that's more than a month, basically. He's basically claiming more than a month. He's basically saying, I gave my customers, or the leasing company, or whoever, gave our customers ample time to prepare for this price increase. Okay, so he's basically saying that to not kind of hold them to anything at this point. When you say I want to say, it's basically saying, you know what, I'm not sure, right? But he's not. But the thing is, like, it's very deceptive, because he could have just said, you know what, sorry, I'm not sure, I gotta get back to you. But that's not as satisfactory, because in his mind, he wants to prove himself. He wants to say, you know what, like I said, he wants to say that, he wants to make a point, right? So that's why he says, I want to say in the affirmative that we alerted people at least a month ahead. So but by saying that, he feels like he's getting his point across to the audience that that at least he tried, right? That he's trying to express the truth in his mind. The truth, yeah, he's trying to express the truth in his mind, because he's saying, I want to say. So it's basically, it's the equivalent of saying, oh yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, but in my memory, I want to say that blah 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 blah. But the thing is, like, that's very deceptive, because if you want to be completely honest and you don't remember something, you should be like, oh, I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm guessing or something, or I assume. He could have said, I assume they sent it out, you know what I'm saying? But that looks really bad on him, right? Because he's the CEO. He should know these things. So that's why he said, I want to say, right? To make it when you say I want to say, it makes it kind of puts them in a spot where it's like you kind of like, it's very like it puts him in a better position where you kind of like can choose to believe him or not. You know what I'm saying? You kind of say, oh, he said that, so maybe he's not lying, right? That kind of thing. He said those words. He wants to say that he did send it out, right? But that's very strange language, because he should have said, oh yeah, I definitely sent it out, or oh, I'm sorry, I didn't send it out, right? He could have been much more like straight with that, right? When you say I want to say, there's definitely uncertainty in that. So yeah, so either he's uncertain about it, and that's why he used that language, which is very possible, right? Or he's trying to deceive. Because when you say I want to say, it can come off as in he really does know, and that he's confident in it, and blah blah, right? That whatever is it. When you say I want to say, and then you follow that up with the statement that you're presenting as truthful, which is we did send out that email at least a month earlier. That's the statement that he wants to get across, right? But when you say I want to say, it allows him to kind of lie about if that really happened or not. Like he can kind of say, he can be like, oh, yeah, I'm actually gonna lie about that, but to make himself feel better about that is not a lie, he'll be like, oh, I want to say, because that kind of like gives him an out. Because when you say I want to say, it doesn't mean I'm positive. It just means, oh, I think we did do that, that kind of thing, right? So it's a very non-committal way of saying something. Yeah. And this is why I feel like there's deception here, because he's being very non-committal here about if he did that or not, And you can see that he looks a little bit like, he just looks bothered. He looks like, well, that's a tough question for me. And he didn't really want to answer that very straight, But he should have. I mean, he should have just been like, you know what? We did not. I think he knows. I don't think he's hiding. I mean, I don't think he's... Sorry, I mean, I don't think he doesn't know that they sent it out. I think he does know that they didn't send it out, or they did send it out, right? So I think he knows what happened. I actually think that maybe he's lying here, blatantly lying, meaning that maybe he knows that they did not send it out, or at least they didn't send it out a month ahead, or at least a month ahead, like he's saying here, right? Because he's uncomfortable here. So maybe they send it out like days before, or like, or maybe even after the fact, right? We don't know what, I mean, if you guys know, like, if you guys have bought stuff from them, like, or leased things from NZXT, kind of like what Steve did, right? If you guys have any, like, proof that he emailed you guys to warn you about some price increase and blaming it on some state tax, please let me know, because he claims here that they sent it out at least a month ahead. Okay, so that's a pretty big claim, and I sense that he's either purposely being deceptive, or at least subconsciously being deceptive here, like fully knowing that he's not sure, but he's still saying, oh, he's prefacing it by saying, oh, I want to say, right? So people, when they do that, you should never trust what they're saying, because first of all, when you say I want to say, it pretty much means that they don't really know for a fact. Yeah. So like a statement like that is very useless, or it has no value, right? Especially if you want to find the truth behind that statement, right? It's definitely a statement that it's just not gonna help things. You're gonna be like, oh wait, he or she just said I want to say. So does that mean that they really are convicted? Obviously not. It means that they're not convicted, right? So it means that they're not sure about their next statement basically out of their mouth, right? So I just think that this is very interesting. Yeah, I don't want to talk about this anymore longer. It's almost a 20-minute video, but thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please subscribe and like this video, and yeah, if you guys have any comments about this, or regarding like, or knowledge that he sent out this email like way earlier, like he said, or maybe he's lying, let me know, yeah, in the comments. Thank you.